All right, Hans Themistode, FightHype.com, here with Brad, man. My guy, how you feeling today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. We're not talking about the Eagles, so don't even do it. We're not talking about them, man. Um, gotta jump on it and talk about Jermall Charlo officially came back against Jose Benavidez Jr. this past Saturday. So I know you're a fan. I know you're also the head trainer of Caleb Plant. So what did you think about his performance, man?
Jamal looked pretty good. I kind of expected it to go the distance. You could see how he was finding himself as the fight went on. He looked pretty good. I'd give him probably maybe a 7 or 8, considering he was off 2.5 years. Uh, Jose Benavidez was in good shape. He was throwing a lot of punches. Um, so you can tell that he really came to win the fight. He took some big shots. Uh, You can see Jamal like shaking off the rust as the fight was going on. He did a good job. He did a good job. That was a solid performance. Even though he was supposed to win the fight and he was a big favorite, you could tell that Benavidez was in good shape. So he was fighting a live guy, considering everything that was all surrounding it. And I seen some of Roy Jones' imprints on it. He was throwing a lot of good left hooks, and
Hmm.
it was a good fight. He did good.
Granted, you said he did good, gave him about a 7 or 8, but Jose did fight his career, well, start his career at 140 pounds. Got stopped by Terrence Crawford. I believe that was 2018 or 19, one of those years. Jermall didn't make weight. Put the Eagles cup down, please. I'd appreciate it. But Jermall didn't make weight. So, like, were there like a few things where you were you surprised that it actually went that entire distance, man?
No, I'm not. I actually told some of my players, I don't want to say who they are, but big time people in the boxing community don't bet on Jamal by knockout in his first fight back.
Hmm.
Because a knockout is not just power, it's timing. And when you haven't been fighting, sometimes you don't have the timing to catch people with shots. Him not making weight, that's like there's no excuse for that because he already had the advantages going into the fight, fighting Jose at 163 pounds and then coming in 3 or 4 pounds heavier, however much it was. There's no excuse for that. That kind of sucks, but boxing needs a union or insurance company or whatever. People say 3 pounds is not a lot, but when you cut and weight and that's all you can cut, and then somebody wants 3 more pounds off of you, it can be draining, So Jamal definitely had a lot of the advantages in terms of that. But I was just talking about just the fight. I, Listen, one day somebody's gonna pull the weight thing, and then the other person is gonna say, "You know what? I'm not fighting."
Hmm.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna ruin the show, and everybody's gonna blame the guy who made weight and did the discipline and professional thing. But it's really the other guy's fault. You don't have to accept the fight. 3 pounds is a lot, especially when your guy is already a smaller guy. So I know where you're getting to. He probably should have knocked him out, but I just didn't think he was gonna knock him out. Benavidez, they're in good shape. They found a groove out there. Every training program, you get a program that works for you, and you can see that those guys are strong. Jose's not as talented as David, but you could just see that they doing some good work out there. So I didn't expect him to stop him this fight right here, but I did think he would beat him.
Gotcha. I mean, we already know Caleb Plant wants that fight, man. Is that the fight where you're just like, all right, he kind of got the ring rust off, so to speak. Like, are you guys gonna kind of push for that fight a little bit more?
I'm not pushing for anything. I don't have no choice in who he fight. I'm
Hmm.
his trainer. You know what I'm saying? I don't play that role in his career. Whoever they call me for him to fight is who he fight. So I'm not pushing for anything. But
Hmm.
if I don't turn nothing down either, he might call me and say, "Coach, what you think about this fight?" And I'll be like, "All right, let's do it." You know what I'm saying? It's just as simple as that. It's not a thing where like I'm like the main person in the decision on who he's fighting. Obviously they got bad blood and they want to fight each other, but that's just how rumors in boxing get started. Like with the David Benavidez fight, from my perspective, it wasn't like nobody had to twist Caleb's arm to take the fight. I got a call last November, like, yo, coach, I'm fighting David Benavidez. Okay, let me know when camp starts. That's how easy it is. So
Yeah.
all of the other stuff that everybody was saying, I'm just like, you guys don't have a clue. So with the original order when I first started training him was supposed to be Darrell, Jermall, then David. That
Mm.
order got switched up when Jermall had his personal issues outside of the ring. So that was always a fight from when he first, asked me to train him. Like I already had my next three opponents lined up. That's what he told me. That
Mm.
we're gonna go in steps. Darrell, Jermall, David. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, so the order got messed up a little bit, but it look, if the fight can be made, obviously everybody wants to fight Canelo, and that represents a huge payday. So, whatever. I really don't know or have a choice in that matter. I just get called to go out the camp and get ready.
I'm not mad at it, man. Just from a preparation standpoint, I mean, they're all really talented guys, man. But now that you got a chance to see, that was pretty much Jermall's super middleweight debut because he came in at 166.6. So that was like pretty much his debut. So just like breaking him down and looking at him, do you think he can be like one of the elite guys at 168? And how do you think you guys match up with him?
I think Caleb matches up with him good. Jamal's a real good fighter. He's fundamentally sound, but you know, you it's just a good matchup for Caleb. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean he's gonna win, but you know, uh, jab, right hand, left hook. He's fundamentally sound, so he does things the right way. So it's like it's not, something that you're not going to expect.
Would you kind of expect? I mean, because I think a lot of people would say that probably Charlo is the bigger puncher, maybe. But in your view, would you be like, well, actually, Charlo's the guy that's coming up. Caleb's been at 168 his whole career. Would you kind of view like, nah, man, I think Caleb probably punches harder than Charlo. It's hard to
I
know,
think
say.
it's hard to know. I think their punching powers are similar.
Mm.
I don't think it's a big size advantage for Caleb, but sometimes some people's bodies allow them to squeeze down in a smaller weight. If Caleb was hitting on 154 pounders with the same size that he has, he probably will have a higher knockout percentage too. I've seen Jermall and Caleb next to each other, and their body is similar. It's just Jermall was able to make a lower weight at a younger age. Um, but punching power, man, it comes down to me of what guy could take the other guy's shot better. So it's
Mm.
not a machine like somebody's on a stopwatch or, pounds, pounds per square inch on a machine. If me and you are fighting and I can take your shots better than you can take mine, then I punch harder than you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it comes down to me. So I really don't get into punching power because if the other guy could take your shots, then he's gonna be okay. If you can't take his, then he's gonna be hurting you. So sometimes you can have a guy who might be a little bit of a bigger puncher overall, but he can't take the other guy's shots as good as he could take his. You feel what I'm trying to say? Like when Holyfield and Tyson fight, even though Tyson is the harder puncher, Holyfield could take Tyson shots better than Tyson could take his shots. So therefore, when those two guys fight each other, Holyfield is the puncher. So that's what it comes down to. When Crawford and Earl fought, uh, Crawford was the puncher because he was taking Earl's shots better than Earl could take his. So that's who determines the puncher in the fight, in my opinion. The guy who could take the other guy's shots better because it's not a machine that you're hooking guys up to. It's a little different.
Would you and it's I guess it's kind of similar to the Benavides thing, but could you see a world where it's just like, Caleb not only does well against Charlo, but he ultimately ends up stopping him. I know there were times in that Charlo versus Benavidez fight where Charlo was getting pushed back a little bit. I mean, he fought really, really well, but could you kind of see areas where you're just like, yeah, I think my boy could get him out of there?
Um, I'm gonna tell you a secret, man. Anybody could be stopped. You'll never hear me say that a guy can't be stopped. You get hit with the right combinations, You get, somebody hit you, place the right shots, you can go. Um, sure, he could stop him, but guess what? He could stop Caleb too. That's what you train for. If you get hit with a shot you don't see, you can get stopped. So I could see him stopping Jermall. Jermall has a great chin. Though. He's one of those guys. He got an underrated chin. He never gets knocked down. He never really gets visibly hurt. If you look at his career real good, and he gets hit. He's not like a defensive specialist. He does get hit. So he showed a solid chin throughout the years, but a chin is not something you want to brag about because you know, it's good till it's not anymore, So definitely he could get stopped. Those are big guys, man. In real life, if they wasn't boxers, they would be 200-pound free safeties in the NFL, 6 foot, 200 pounds. So, anybody that big could hit you, hurt you.